All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Melissa Ferguson with the Balanced Hairstylist. If you are tuning in here live, feel free to drop your name. If you're catching the YouTube replay, please know that we go live inside of our private community every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. If you get in the group, you are here and you are welcome to ask questions while we are live. We are also going to be bringing on special guests. And these special guests are going to include both industry professionals and hairstylists that actually want to receive live, real-time support. So if you are a hairstylist that feels like you want to share your story or want to access some support, please make sure that you reach out for an application, and we can talk about what that would look like to get you here on the live stream and see if it is a good fit for you and for the Balanced Hairstylist community. So I'm going to dive right in. We actually have a special guest coming on today. His name is Barath, and he currently runs my paid Facebook ads for my salon. He's going to come on about 8:45, and we're going to attempt to get him on the live stream without me having a bunch of issues. But I want to dive right into some of the value impacting things that I have really learned over the years of running paid ads. And then I'm going to actually show you a look at some of my own paid ads so that you can really see what the value of it is. I use a CRM system on top of Facebook, but Facebook has a built-in CRM system. And if you are brand new to ads, leads, all that kind of stuff, and you're like, I don't know what the hell that means, it's a client relationship management software. So when you get a lead or a potential person coming into you that's like, hey, I want you to do my hair, oftentimes we have great intentions, but we really drop the ball, because we get busy, we get forgetful, or we honestly just get imposter syndrome and we're like, oh, I can't call that person, I can't follow up with that person, I'm going to be spammy. Okay. But here's the thing. If somebody gave you their phone number, their email, their business card, whatever, they've given you a way to reach out to them, they are saying, hey, my door is open, I would like an appointment with you. Okay. But inherently people also get busy in life, and sometimes they just forget to follow up. I don't know how many times I've had a text come into me from somebody. I'm like, yeah, I want an appointment with that person. And then I open it, and then my kids start screaming in the background, and then I forget to mark it as unread, and then I never answer it. I am eternally grateful that when I've reached out to somewhere and they're on top of their shit and they call me back, that makes me so happy, because I know that they're taking care of me and that their customer service is going to be better, because I'm inherently, I don't want to say lazy. I'm not lazy, but I'm busy, right? I get very distracted very quickly. So for me to, remember to reach back out, I may not, but sometimes, we get into our head and we're like, oh, I don't want to bother the person. But if they gave you their information and you still haven't had that conversation, they want you to reach out. And I'm going to give you a really quick story. So last night I actually followed up with somebody, and I honestly dropped the ball. Normally I try and get my contact my leads within the first 12 hours of them reaching out, but whatever. This one slipped through the crack. It had been 4 or 5 days. And she's like, you know what, I was thinking about it. And she's like, no, I don't want hair extensions. And I was like, okay, well, do you mind me asking why? And she's like, yeah, I just had a really bad experience and I've thought about it and I don't want to do it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, do you mind me asking what happened? And again, I'm just asking her, I'm just being human, right? I'm not oh, but you signed up and you need to blah, blah, blah. Right? I'm just oh, what genuinely happened? Anyways, we had a conversation back and forth about how she had tape extensions installed and how they fell out within 36 seconds, and the hair was tangly and matted and all this kind of stuff, and it just wasn't a good fit. So after, I think I chatted to her about 6.5 minutes, that's all it took. So now she has a consultation booked with me for, I believe, next week. And here's the thing, okay? If you're working on high ticket sales and high ticket services, are you going to let $1,400, $1,500 walk away because somebody is I thought about it? Take the extra minute and ask them, well, but you said, and normally they're going to be yeah, you're right. And I got them in for a consultation. Okay. So paid ads are great in theory if you have a system set up after the paid ad. Okay. I see a lot of people waste money on paid ads because they don't know what to do with the ad after it comes in. They're connecting an ad to their booking software, but they're not actually doing anything about it. And if you don't have kind of a drip sequence or flow or something set up after the fact, then you're just, oh, what just happened to my computer? No, I didn't want you to reboot. Oh no. Put out here while I fight with some tech for a second and we get the ads guy on. So 1 sec.
Hey,
Hey, good morning. It worked.
awesome.
Okay, so I'm just pulling up everything I wanted to go over with you. I'll just have to, for everyone that here on YouTube, these are now 2 spliced videos together. So Barath, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone, who you are, what you do. I don't know if you can turn your camera on because I don't actually see you, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay, so I'll just turn off my camera then. All right, so I don't think I can, but yeah, let's go.
Well,
All right, my name is
we can hear you.
Bharat. I am a digital marketing expert, and I work with hairstylists and also a few other verticals. So I've been doing marketing for Melissa, and we've been through this journey for a little while now. Everything is going fantastic, and it's nice to meet you all today.
Yeah. So I've got a couple questions
Sure.
that I'm going to kind of rapid fire at you because we've only got 14 minutes. So I want to make sure we can like pound as much info out as we humanly can. But
Mhm.
I want to know your thoughts on like I know we run with my campaign, we run a lot of like model calls and different promotions and we test and we watch how things go. But what would you say is the best type of ad for a stylist who's just starting out on Facebook or Instagram ads? Would you say it's brand awareness, bookings, or more like a product sale ad?
So it totally depends on like what we actually want to do. Like as a hairstylist, you probably want like people on your seat so that you could start making some money, right? But before
Yeah.
doing that, we have to educate these people on like who we are. I mean, people are not going to agree to something that they don't know, right? So communicating the message like in the right way. So if starting off with a brand awareness would be the best way to do it. That's like a top of the funnel thing where like you spend a little bit of money getting your name out to the whole area that you're trying to focus on. And once you do that, the people have an idea. Now you can make them do an action, like call to action, like let's say, okay, submit a lead form or book an appointment or maybe give you a call or give you a message. So that way that's the best way to go about it. But also like I've seen a lot of people do like straight go to like the ads part. The problem with that is it might take a little bit for you to see these results, but still, I mean that's the best practice is doing a brand awareness and going that way, but you can
Mhm.
still do it the other way. So
Mhm.
I
For
hope yeah,
sure.
I answered your question. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, that's great. And like I was saying before when I had to jump off the other live before I created more work for myself splicing these videos that like I think it's really important for people to be tracking, like how much money are you actually bringing in from an ad? Because a lot of people are like, oh fuck, my leads are up at like $50. But if they're focusing on like high ticket sales or they're looking at the retention side of their business too, I'm like, $50 actually isn't like even that bad for a lead as long as they have like an action plan of like, what am I going to do with this lead after I get this lead? Am I going to call it once or message it once and just let it sit there? Like, am I going to have a drip flow? Like all that kind of stuff. And these are areas too where like I'm sure that you can support stylists too. So if anyone is watching this live stream and has questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But you can also message me after too, and I can get you like directly in contact. Um, how much do you think a hairstylist should realistically budget to get results from paid ads?
Okay, so if you have the perfect knowledge of who your target audience is, who you should be like reaching your ads with, and if you can create like the perfect ads targeting those particular audience, you could like start off with like little as $10 to $20 per day. And as you see the results come in, you can slowly scale it up. And also, thinking about like the point that you mentioned before, knowing the lifetime value of your customer is always the best thing. So you could actually calculate, okay, how much I'm gonna make with this particular lead that's coming in, how many times they visited. So having a proper CRM system will help you like collect all this information. You don't have to do anything manually or anything like that. So that will help you like understand how much money you bring in and how much you're spending on like ad platforms or like I mean like the platforms where you like show ads to people, right? Like for example, like Meta or like Google or whatever. So that's the kind of amount that you should be spending at when starting off
Yeah,
with Facebook ads or social media ads.
awesome. Hey, Jason, how's it going? If you have any marketing questions, feel free to drop them in the comments too. For myself too, and I think that was great that you kind of touched on that, like knowing your audience, right? And I think it's really important for stylists to also listen to what their people in their chair are telling them that they want or they need when that comes to both service, customer service, or even like marketing. Because I don't know how many times I have people sitting in my chair being like asking questions, and like the
Mhm.
literal questions that your clients are asking are like great social media content pieces, and focusing on like live streaming these conversations or like recording them too, because that's like powerful marketing content. Like I had a client sitting in my chair the other day and I caught it on camera, and she was like, my hair has never grown as much as working with you. And I'm like, bam, that's going in my next ad. Because like how many times is that like a major frustration and pain point for clients? What's one common mistake that you see stylists or salon owners make when they're running ads?
So the one common mistake is not having a proper idea or like not communicating the right message to people.
Yeah,
You have everything set up, everything is proper, but at the end of the day, like you can't target someone that doesn't have a pain point,
yeah,
right? For example, like let's say like older ladies who have like hair thinning is a problem for them, right? But it might not be the same problem for like people who are under a certain age. So like showing that ad to everybody would waste your money, as Meta's algorithm will try to like push it to like younger people, and that will actually spend money that you don't want that to happen. So the best strategy is always to like understand and identify pain points and run an ad for that. Like be super specific, so you know who your target audience are. For example, like the hair thinning case, people older will have this problem. So direct it specifically towards them, and anybody who has questions, anybody who wants to do it will definitely reach out that way, right?
yeah.
And eventually you can convert them into a client. So yeah, I mean that's one common mistake that I have seen when it comes to like doing ads with
Yeah.
hairstyles.
Okay, cool. And I think it's really important to like knowing where your clients are actually like even seeing the marketing past the Facebook ad too. Cause like I think that's part where like we don't examine it enough. And it's so funny because I'm like, all you guys are hairdressers. Like none of you fucking open your emails. And I spend so much time like doing email marketing where I'm like, oh, this is not like a legitimate like source of me spending my time here. But for salon clients, the everyday person opens their email, right? So like having like drip campaigns set up in the back is super, super important, and like knowing to like where your person is going to go and how to segment them into the right trail. Because like you said, you know, a 20-year-old girl is not going to have the same challenges as an 80-year-old woman. If you bring them in for a Facebook ad, well, you need to retarget them, right? And it's like, why am I going to push you all down a funnel that's going to go thin, thin, thin? Well, these people that are not interested in that, they're going to just like unsegment. But if I can get, you know, them to go here and then take a right and still stay in my marketing lane, well, they're going to keep coming back and looking at me because they're like, oh, what she said here was relevant. Okay, I'm going to go check her socials too, right? So I think it's really important to kind of like everyone's like, oh, do I do Facebook ads? Do I do SEO? Like starting to look at it from like a holistic perspective too. Um, what are the top three things in your opinion that a stylist should have set up in place before they run an ad?
Oh yeah. So absolutely good question. So under the proper creative, and before all of this, try to like do some organic posters, because you'll be running ads off of your page. And when some people, if people want to like go ahead and like actually take a look at your page, we don't want to leave it empty, right? Like that doesn't look good on us. So like post whatever you can. You don't have to show your face or anything. Maybe like a client video or like a testimonial from somebody, that will help.
Yeah.
And having a proper tracking system like a pixel or like a conversions API integrated to your CRM or like ads manager, because the people that are coming in through ads, you have to have a proper idea about like what age group, where these people are coming from, who's clicking on your ad, how can you use this data, right? It's all about data. So having a pixel setup will help you understand how or like where these people are coming from. Even if they did not fill out a lead form, if there's a higher response from a certain age group, you exactly know who your audience are. There you go, right? You don't have to do like a lot of research. But running ads itself, you'll be able to identify the likes and dislikes of people by just looking at the data. So implementing that, a lot of people don't do that. They just go
Mhm.
directly, okay, ads, I want to do ads, but your cost per result is going to be so high,
Yeah.
and we definitely don't want to do that. And this data coming in, it's of no use, right?
Yeah.
So having a proper pixel setup, having a CRM would definitely help to like get your clients to a place where you can communicate with all of them, so you don't miss out on anybody. So these are the basic things that you need to have while you're doing ads on Meta or like any other social media platforms.
Awesome. I'm just gonna break that down a little bit more because, like, I know for me at the beginning, I was like, "What in the hell does that mean?" Pixels, for anyone watching too, is almost like I almost explain it in a way of it's like stalking people, right? Like, you know how you go on Facebook and you see this thing that you were thinking about, and then you go over to Google and you see this thing that you were thinking about. Like, pixels kind of allow the ads to like follow the right people around, and it's complicated to set it up. Like, I fought with my own ads for years and years, and that's why I now have you working, right?
Mhm.
Um, do, do, can ads work for small local businesses like stylists who don't have a following yet? Like if they're just setting up their Facebook page, they're brand new. I know you said like, yeah, they should definitely have some breadcrumbs laid out there, but will they work to an extent if they don't have that framework?
It should absolutely work. I don't see a problem with ads now working. If you have the right audience, if your message, like the basic idea behind this is, think about a billboard, people driving through and they see it, right?
Yeah.
So they see it multiple times and they give you a call. So the number of times they see it, they understand, okay, so like they understand that okay, this person is doing something, so they might not have a lot of questions, but the first time when they see it, they might skip it over, right? Like if their intention is to like meet a hairstylist, they'll definitely do it after seeing your ad. The reason behind it is the way Meta shows ads to people is based off of your likes and interests. Let's say if I'm looking to buy shoes, I'm gonna go to Google, type in shoes, and I'll be like scrolling over, looking at different varieties of shoes, right? So now I come back to Facebook and I see a lot of ads from shoes or like Nike or Adidas, right? The reason behind that is your browser tracks all these information using cookies and cache, and because you have Pixel and because you have a lot of other things set up in the behind or the back end, Facebook knows who's looking for what. So they'll push your ad to people that are looking for salons or like that's the idea behind this, right? So
Hmm.
the probability of you getting that client if you're running ads will be very
Yeah.
high. So that's how the whole thing works. So you don't have to be worried thinking about, okay, I just started, but we all have to start somewhere, right? So it's
Exactly.
ideal to it's ideal to do something rather than not do anything, right?
Yeah, for sure. And especially if you have a small budget, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
reality is starting a business takes money. It takes either like time sweat equity or physical money sweat equity. Um, so we're coming up on the 9 o'clock mark. But for anyone who enjoyed this and has questions, feel free to drop them in the comments here. Barath is floating around in our Facebook group too. I'm sure he will keep an eye on this live stream and be able to come back and answer them. And again, if you guys want to be a guest here on live stream, you want to work through either problems that you're having in your salon, or you want to come on and you want to educate somebody about other things that you feel that you can bring value to our community, message our Balanced Hairstylist page. We are accepting applications for speakers. And again, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. I realize that my time zone is ahead of a lot of you guys, but here's the thing. If you guys really are serious about getting the results that you want in business, sometimes it means getting up early. Like that's just what it comes down to. If you want live stream support, live stream coaching, you guys can literally come on here and you can ask me questions in the comments. You can ask our professional questions in the comments. It's one of the best ways to essentially get free coaching and support for your business, but it may just come at a cost of being slightly uncomfortable and getting your ass out of bed a little bit early. So thank you so much for being here, Barath. I'm going to repurpose this. I'll get this up onto YouTube. I'll reach out to you and just figure out where you want me to tag you and all that marketing and everything. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing your expertise. And
Thank you, Melissa.
yeah, no problem.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we will talk to you
All right,
soon.
bye.